we've aired in a couple of places here. One, we should have asked David Sampson about Jazz Chisholm ending up on the most popular video game in baseball. It's what's second place these days, because I'm obviously far removed from baseball. I was RBI baseball in the 90s, but what is second place on the most popular baseball video game right now?
MVP Baseball 2004 or
no,
5?
He's saying active though.
There's none. There's only one game. It's only MLB
Zero.
The Show.
Exclusivity.
And so Jazz Chisholm is on the cover, which is a stunner. He's not even the Marlin that you would expect on excellence to be on the correct. You'd put Sandy on the cover if what you were trying to do was excellent. He's Cy Young winner. He's young. Jazz Chisholm's going to center field. We don't know if he can play center field. He's a second baseman who's going to be in center field, but he is charismatic, and he's exactly the personality that baseball should be embracing.
Yeah, and I've spoken to a few people that are like trying to build up things in baseball, and yeah, they're trying to get stars going, and Jazz Chisholm absolutely has a star quality. If he can put together 162 games with the massive personality he has, he's willing to demonstrate it. He's a fun player who does fun things on the field. That's exactly the kind of person who in 2004, at the very least, like people are debating whether or not baseball is, can stand somebody with the personality of Jazz Chisholm. He should absolutely be a bigger deal than he is. I just don't know, like, if someone is walking down the aisles of Best Buy in Tulsa, are they going to look at that and go, "Who's that on the cover of that game?" Like it feels like a who's that for anyone other than people who live in Miami, and maybe even people who do live in Miami.
I'll be honest with you, like, I don't know what Jazz Chisholm looks like. I know he's black. That's all I know.
Well, last season they had Shohei Ohtani on the cover. The season before that they had Fernando Tatis Jr. on the cover. So I guess it's a ringing endorsement for Jazz.
Sure. I mean, those are big names. But like, I don't know if there's anyone buy the game because of who's on the cover. Or they just buy the game because it's the game.
No, but like the cover of the cover of Madden, you never look at it and go, "Who's that?"
Well,
you always know who that is.
on the cover one year.
That was a long time ago. It was also a fan vote,
fan
too.
voting. He was fan voted on.
I think this is MLB like projecting here, because I bet they got him for a lot cheaper than they would have gotten a Mike Trout or somebody more established. Jazz is one of these guys. He's like on the precipice of becoming a star. So they're trying to like get out in front, I would say, with this.
But we don't know any baseball players. That's just the fact.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. Okay. If I lined up 17 baseball players, would you know all of them? No.
Like face, Chris. Not like, oh, I know who so-and-so
Who
is.
Shohei Ohtani is. If you put a
the-
picture of him, like, I don't know
Like if
I
it's
know
an
who
all-star
he is.
roster, yes, I would know most of them.
We've turned this into content. Nobody here knew who Rafael Devers was except for Chris.
Oh, but the thing is, though, as baseball used to be the national pastime. As baseball becomes a regional sport, that's what's happening. Tony represents the 26-year-old in America who's like, I don't love baseball. I don't know baseball players. But I think Amin got it right. Simplistic though his viewpoint is, he's like, all I know is he's black. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, it does work because there's so few.
That is correct. Like that. Okay, I don't know who that guy is on the cover of that game, but how do I reach young people who don't like baseball? Oh, wait, somebody who's actually interesting, controversial, like Jazz Chisholm. We know going into this next season, correct? If there's a problem with the manager and Jazz Chisholm, we're going to know about it. Jazz Chisholm is not a meek personality.
The thing that's tedious, though, is that like it also felt at times last year, there were some of the Marlins that supported him whenever that row was going on between Jazz Chisholm and the rest of his team. But also, it feels like baseball drowns out personalities like Jazz Chisholm. Like there's an intent for like the Miguel Rojas's of the world to like, no, you're getting too big for the team. There's always like in baseball to like try and quiet these personalities down rather than to accentuate them. I'm glad that Major League Baseball or the video game has taken this step to try and accentuate this player, but it feels like the sport itself, the institution itself is there to drag people like Jazz Chisholm down.
So Chris, Cody, if I ask you what C.J. Abrams looks like, can you answer that?
C.J. Abrams?
Yeah.
That particular example, I don't know what he looks like.
He was top 10 in, what is this?
Well, this is where Chris Cody is bloated. What just happened with Chris Cody is amazing because he's thrilled that he knows who Rafael Devers is, who's one of the best hitters in baseball, but no one else around here knew who was and couldn't recognize him. And so now he's passing himself off as the baseball expert. When you'll stump him 20 times if you just go West Coast teams.
About 20 times.
West Coast teams. If he goes just West Coast, if he starts asking you about the infield of the Mariners.
The infield of the Mariners.
Oh, my guy, Juan Fernandez.
I think he's an outfielder.
I don't know. You could just guess Juan Fernandez and possibly.
Is that his
right.
name? Don't they have a really good guy, Juan Fernandez? Right? Anybody?
I mean,
Somebody?
That's a great guess.
This is. What are you looking up right now?
I'm trying to find the All-Stars, the list of last year's All-Stars, so I could say, hey, what does so-and-so look like?
Well, let's play that game. We will play that game later in the show. Show how. I just love that the new kid shows up and he just wanders around with videos showing how little you guys know about sports.
It's Julio Rodriguez, Dan, not Juan Fernandez. I was close, though.
Yeah, plenty of those. Yeah.
You can see my confusion there.
And he's an outfielder, not an infielder.
Yeah, but Jazz was an infield, now he's an outfield. You never know.